Greetings, fellow history aficionados, and welcome to a new episode of Antiquities Engagements. In today's journey back in time, we'll be revisiting one of the most consequential battles of the ancient world, the epic clash between Rome and Carthage at Zama in 202 BC. This monumental engagement on the North African plains marked the dramatic conclusion of the Second Punic War after over 15 years of conflict. The Battle of Zama saw Hannibal's once unstoppable Carthaginian force finally overcome by Rome under the brilliant general Scipio Africanus. Rome's momentous victory shaped the Mediterranean for centuries to come. By breaking the back of Carthage's war machine, Zama opened the door for the Roman Republic to dominate the region uncontested. It was a turning point, signaling the dawning of a new era of Roman imperial ambition. So join me as we analyze the tactics and key moments that decided this pivotal ancient showdown. The repercussions of Zama echo through history even today. It's time to revisit one of antiquity's most decisive clashes. To understand Zama, we first need to examine the Second Punic War between Rome and Carthage that began in 218 BC. This epic struggle started when the brilliant Carthaginian general Hannibal audaciously marched an army from Spain, across the Alps, and into Italy itself. Hannibal would score a string of victories on Roman soil, handing them devastating loss at Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and most famously Cannae. For over a decade, Hannibal maintained an impregnable position in southern Italy, evading the Romans determined to drive him out. The tide began to turn when Roman general Scipio Africanus invaded Carthaginian territories in Spain in 205 BC. Scipio achieved a momentous victory against Hannibal's brother Hasdrubal at the Battle of Ilipa, shattering Carthage's control in Spain. Scipio's successes put him in prime position to fully take the fight to Carthage itself. His invasion of North Africa forced Hannibal to abandon his conquest in Italy to defend his homeland. The stage was set for the two generals to clash directly at Zama. In 202 BC, the two warring powers converged on the open plains near the North African town of Zama. Scipio had landed in Africa with a veteran Roman army of around 35,000 infantry and cavalry. Marching to confront Scipio, Hannibal hastily assembled an army by recruiting mercenaries from throughout Carthage's territories. His polyglot force numbered around 40,000, but many were poorly trained conscripts and skirmishers. However, Hannibal still possessed an imposing contingent of 80 war elephants that would form the spearhead of his advance. In contrast, Scipio's legion consisted mainly of battle-hardened heavy infantry arranged in maniples and supported by Numidian cavalry allies. The stage was set for Zama, for Hannibal's eclectic mix of warriors to clash with the steely disciplined legions that came to define Rome's military might. The outcome would depend on which general could best deploy their distinctive forces. The Battle of Zama commenced with both sides unleashing their cavalry forces. Scipio's Numidian horsemen swiftly overwhelmed Hannibal's outmatched cavalry, driving them from the battlefield. With their cavalry routed, the brunt of the fighting now fell to Hannibal's infantry. His front lines unleashed the war elephants in the hope of fracturing the Roman formation. But Scipio's men expertly sidestepped the lumbering beast, rendering them ineffective. The two infantry lines then collided in a storm of metal. Despite their superior numbers, Hannibal's predominantly mercenary force proved no match for the discipline and advanced tactics of the Roman legions. Scipio's manipular formations allowed fresh soldiers to cycle to the front, while Hannibal's men tired under the punishing press of Roman short swords. Gaps started to open in the Carthaginian line. Sensing the enemy faltering, Scipio ordered a final decisive push. The Roman advance shattered what cohesion remained in the Carthaginian army. Seeing victory slip away, Hannibal and his surviving troops fled Zama, leaving Scipio triumphant. The Battle of Zama left Carthage decisively crippled. With their army devastated and Hannibal disgraced, the Carthaginians were forced to accept humiliating peace terms from Rome. They lost their overseas empire, paid massive reparations, and could never again challenge Roman supremacy. For Rome, victory at Zama catalyzed its Mediterranean ascendancy for centuries to come. With no rivals remaining, the Roman Republic expanded unchecked, assimilating Greece, Egypt, and the Near East into its burgeoning empire. The tactics Scipio employed at Zama would influence Roman military doctrine. Adaptable, flexible infantry formations and combined arms of infantry, cavalry, and skirmishers became hallmarks of the Roman war machine. Beyond the battlefield, Zama's outcome critically shaped Rome's political evolution. The influx of riches and slaves allowed Roman elites to consolidate their power, leading Rome away from republicanism and towards imperial rule. In many ways, Zama marked the true beginning of Rome's rise to superpower status, a position it would retain for half a millennium. Scipio's triumph made his new Mediterranean order possible. The Battle of Zama etched Scipio Africanus' name into the annals of military genius. His mastery of brilliant battlefield tactics and leadership catapulted him into the top echelon of commanders from antiquity. Works from Appian and Polybius praise Scipio's cunning and foresight at Zama as instrumental to Rome's victory. Later luminaries such as Cicero and Machiavelli analyzed Scipio's methods, cementing his strategic brilliance. Zama's importance made it prime subject for ancient and classical artists. The battle was gloriously depicted in temple reliefs, mosaics, and sculptures across the Roman world. Modern artists continue recreating Zama's dramatic scenes. Even today, Zama remains scrutinized by military academics and strategists. The battle provides invaluable lessons on leadership, use of terrain, and tactical coordination that still resonate more than 2,000 years later. The Battle of Zama marked a decisive turning point, not only in the Second Punic War, but also in the wider landscape of the ancient Mediterranean world. Rome's victory over Hannibal shattered Carthage's dominance and set the stage for centuries of Roman control. At Zama, Scipio Africanus orchestrated a tactical masterclass, overcoming the larger Carthaginian force through discipline, training, and coordination. His triumph made Rome the supreme power, allowing it to flourish culturally and politically in the coming centuries. Zama's importance continues to resound through the ages, from its influence on military strategy to its depictions in art and literature. Zama remains one of history's most consequential battles. I hope you enjoyed this examination of an epic clash between two great ancient powers. Let me know your thoughts on the Battle of Zama and what other pivotal ancient battles you would like us to cover in the future. This is Antiquities Engagement signing off for now. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to join us on more journeys into antiquity.